In the silent stillness of the mountain, all rivers eventually find their way to it. Not because the mountain runs after them, but because its presence cannot be ignored. If you wish for a man to chase you, do not run toward him. Instead, master the unseen forces of mind and spirit that draw him closer with every breath he takes. This is not manipulation, it is alignment. Understand his instincts. Command your energy. Become unshakable. And watch as pursuit becomes inevitable. Let me take you to the mountains for a moment. Imagine standing there at sunrise. The air is thin, fresh. The peaks are silent. They don't run after the clouds or the wind, yet everything, water, weather, life, flows toward them in time. That's the first and most important principle you must understand. Attraction is not about running after what you want. It is about becoming something that draws it in without movement, without struggle. The problem most people face is that they confuse effort with outcome. They think if they just try harder, call more, text more, show up more, that somehow the other person will value them more. But in truth, constant pursuit has the opposite effect. When you chase too much, you give away your stillness. You send the silent messages, my value depends on you responding to me. And as soon as someone feels you are dependent on their reaction, the chase begins to weaken. Now, I am not saying to be cold or to play cruel games. I am talking about an entirely different approach, holding your center. When you stop running after someone, you give them the space to wonder about you. In that space, curiosity grows. And curiosity is the seed of desire. If you observe nature, you'll see this everywhere. The strongest trees do not lean toward the birds. They stand rooted, and the birds choose to come and go. The river does not plead with the fish to stay. It simply flows, and those who belong in its waters will swim with it. Your presence must be like this, solid, certain, grounded in who you are. This is where psychology comes in. People value what they work for. They value what they earn. If you hand someone your time, your attention, and your energy without them having to lift a finger, they subconsciously think, if this is so easy to have, maybe it's not that valuable. It's not cruelty. It's human wiring. We're drawn to what feels rare and meaningful. So the first step is to remove the frantic energy of pursuit from your interactions. That doesn't mean you ignore or reject someone. It means you stop offering yourself faster than they can value you. Instead of asking, how can I make him like me? Shift to, how can I make my life so rich, so grounded, so magnetic that he wants to be part of it? When you do this, something changes. You speak slower. You listen more. You respond when you have something real to say, not just to fill the silence. And because you're not chasing, every time you do give attention, it feels more potent. Like a mountain stream in summer, it's rare, refreshing, and memorable. Some will misunderstand this and think it's about pretending to be busy or playing hard to get. That is still performance. I am not asking you to act, I am asking you to become. To truly live a life that is so fulfilling that no single person determines your worth. That is the energy people feel, even if they cannot explain it. And here's the beauty of it. When you stop chasing, you start attracting, not just from that one man you have in mind, but from many people in many areas of your life. Opportunities appear, friendships deepen, respect increases. Why? Because the same principle that makes a man chase you is the same principle that makes the world respond to you. You become the mountain. So remember this, stillness is not weakness and patience is not passivity. They are silent invitations that say, if you want to reach me, climb. If the first principle is to become the mountain, the second is to understand the psychology of value. Because value is not just something you have, it is something others must feel. In human behavior, there is a simple but powerful truth: we value what is scarce. The less of something there is, the more we want it. It's why a rare gem will sell for millions while a pebble on the street is ignored, even though both are made of the same earth. It's not just about the object, it's about the perception of rarity, of difficulty to obtain. Now think about this in relationships. When you are too available, too quick to respond, too eager to please, you may believe you're showing love or interest. But the other person's mind starts to record a different message. This is easy. I don't have to work for it. It will always be here. And when the mind believes something will always be there, desire weakens. This is not about playing games or pretending to be someone you are not. It's about recognizing that your time, your energy, your attention, these are precious commodities. They should not be scattered like confetti in the wind. Imagine you're at a market, and one stall is giving away fruit for free, as much as you want, no matter how much you take. Another stall sells fruit in limited quantities, perfectly ripe, beautifully displayed. Which one do you think people will line up for? Human nature tells us the one that feels special. So how do you create this sense of value in a relationship? The first step is to have boundaries, not walls that shut people out, but healthy, respectful limits that show you respect yourself. You don't answer every message immediately. You don't cancel your plans every time someone calls. You don't let someone's mood determine your day. This doesn't make you cold, it makes you strong. When you live with boundaries, you create an environment where someone has to earn more of you, and when they earn it, they appreciate it. Think of it like a fire. If you pile too much wood too quickly, you smother the flame. But if you feed it slowly, steadily, the fire grows strong, bright, and lasting. In the same way, if you overwhelm a man with your time and energy before he's had a chance to invest in you, the flame of his desire can burn out before it even really begins. Here is where self-awareness is crucial. Ask yourself, am I giving too much because I'm afraid of losing him? Or am I holding my ground because I know my worth? The first comes from fear. The second comes from power. And power is magnetic. When a man senses that you value yourself, that your life is full, your time is precious, your attention is not given lightly, something shifts in his mind. He starts to think, if I want more of her, I have to show up. I have to be consistent. I have to bring value too. This shift is important because in every healthy relationship, pursuit should not end once connection begins. The dynamic stays alive when both people are still inspired to win each other over every day. And that is impossible if one person has already given everything away with no effort required from the other side. Scarcity is not about deprivation. It is about creating appreciation. The rarest sunsets are the ones we remember most. The rarest conversations are the ones that linger in our minds for years. And the rarest kind of person, the one who knows their worth and does not give it away carelessly, is the one people chase, not out of obligation, but out of genuine desire. So hold this truth close. Value is not declared, it is demonstrated. Show it in the way you carry yourself, in the way you choose your words, in the way you protect your time. Let a man feel that being close to you is a privilege, not a guarantee. And when he feels that, he will not walk. He will run. If the first step is to become the mountain, and the second is to understand your value, then the third is to master emotional resonance, because no matter how much logic a person has, it is emotion that moves them to act. Think about it. A man can list every reason why he should or shouldn't pursue you, but it is not his reasoning that gets him to pick up the phone, to show up at your door, to choose you over all others. It's the way you make him feel. Logic convinces the mind, emotion compels the heart, and pursuit comes from the heart. Now, many people try to appeal to logic without even realizing it. They'll say, I'm smart, I'm attractive, I'm kind, I'm loyal. Why wouldn't he chase me? But the truth is, you can have all those qualities and still be forgotten if you don't stir something deeper in him. Humans don't bond to lists. They bond to experiences. So how do you create that emotional connection? You speak not just to his mind, but to his instincts. You engage the part of him that responds to curiosity, to challenge, to admiration, to play. Let's break this down. Curiosity is born when you are not immediately predictable. If every conversation follows the same script, if you always respond the same way, there's nothing for the mind to explore. But if your reactions sometimes surprise him, if you bring in a story, a new perspective, a moment of humor, he's drawn in. It's not manipulation. It's simply giving him a reason to lean closer and think, who is she really? Then there's admiration. And this is important. It's not about flattery. Flattery is cheap. True admiration comes from recognizing and genuinely appreciating qualities in him that matter. When you see a man for who he is, not just for what he gives you, it activates something primal in him. Men want to be respected just as much as women want to be cherished. When he feels you notice his effort, his values, his growth, he's inspired to give more. Next is challenge, not in the sense of making life difficult, but in the sense of keeping his effort alive. If he feels there is always a part of you he must earn, a depth he has not yet reached, then the pursuit never really ends. This doesn't mean withholding love, it means continuing to grow yourself so that there is always more of you to discover. Play is the fourth emotional force, and it's one many overlook. We often think deep relationships are built only on serious talks and shared struggles. But laughter, lightness, teasing, these are powerful bonding agents. When a man associates you with joy, with ease, with moments where the world feels lighter, he will want to return to that again and again. All of this, however, must be authentic. You cannot fake curiosity, admiration, challenge, or play without it feeling hollow. Emotional resonance comes from living in a way that naturally brings these qualities out in you. That's why personal fulfillment is so critical. You can't draw from an empty well. Think of it like music. The best songs aren't just technically perfect. They make you feel something. They change your state of mind. They linger. In the same way, you want to be the kind of presence that leaves an emotional imprint. A laugh that stays with him, a conversation that replays in his head, a moment that he can't quite explain but can't forget. When you can create that kind of emotional experience, logic will take a back seat. He may not even understand why he's thinking about you, why he's making the extra effort, why he's chasing. But the truth is simple, it's because in your presence, he feels alive. And that's the essence. Men don't chase perfection. They chase the feeling of being inspired, challenged, and awakened. Give him that feeling, and you won't have to ask him to come closer, he will. There is a saying, once you read the last page of a book, the mystery ends. You may still love the story, but the urge to keep turning the pages disappears. In relationships, the same truth applies. When everything about you is revealed too soon, the momentum of pursuit slows. This is why the art of controlled mystery is so powerful. Now, I am not talking about secrecy born from fear or manipulation. I am speaking about the natural magnetism that comes from revealing yourself in layers at a pace that allows someone to stay intrigued. Controlled mystery is not withholding, it is pacing. It is giving a person the space to discover you, piece by piece, over time. Most people rush this part without realizing it. They meet someone they like, and suddenly they share every detail of their lives. Their past, their fears, their dreams, their routines, all in the first few conversations. It feels like intimacy, but what it really does is remove the space for curiosity. And when curiosity disappears, the chase often ends. Think of it like walking into a garden. If all the flowers were in full bloom at once, it would be beautiful. But after a short while, there would be nothing new to discover. But if the blooms open gradually, each visit brings something new. That's what keeps people coming back. Controlled mystery works because it taps into one of the most basic human drives, the desire to explore. We are wired to seek out what we don't fully understand. That is why puzzles, adventures, and stories captivate us. It's not the solution that draws us in. It's the journey toward it. To practice this, you must resist the urge to over-explain yourself. You can answer questions without giving the entire history behind your answer. You can share moments of vulnerability without opening the entire vault at once. Let him learn you through experience. How you handle challenges, what excites you, what makes you laugh, rather than through a list of facts. Another part of controlled mystery is variety. If every interaction feels the same, there's nothing left to discover. Change the rhythm. Sometimes be spontaneous, other times be steady. Sometimes be playful, other times be deeply reflective. This doesn't mean becoming unpredictable for the sake of it. It means living a full, multi-layered life that naturally offers new experiences. And here's a subtle but important point: mystery is sustained when you have a life outside of him. Hobbies, passions, friendships, goals, these are the parts of your life that he cannot fully access unless he earns his way deeper in. When he sees that you are not waiting for him to fill your time, it adds depth to who you are. It says, without words, I am complete on my own. But if you wish, you may come closer and see more. Be aware, though, controlled mystery is not about creating distance for the sake of making someone anxious. It's about keeping pursuit alive in a healthy way. Too much distance, and connection fades. Too little, and desire fades. The art is in the balance, just enough revealed to keep him engaged, just enough withheld to keep him reaching. When you do this well, every interaction becomes an invitation. Not a guarantee, but a glimpse, like catching sight of a mountain peak through the mist. He can see part of it, but not all, and that will make him want to climb higher. Because in truth, people don't just chase what they want. They chase what they want to know. And once they know everything, the chase often turns into routine. So protect the pace of revelation. Give him the gift of discovery slowly, steadily, over time. And remember, mystery is not about hiding who you are. It is about letting him earn the right to see all of you. That earned view will be worth far more than anything handed over too soon. Before you learn any strategy, before you use any technique, you must understand this: your energy is the foundation. Without inner alignment, every word you say, every action you take, will be built on shaky ground. Inner alignment means that what you feel inside matches what you project outside. It means your confidence is real, not just a mask. It means your calm is genuine, not something you're forcing while secretly spiraling inside. Because here's the truth: people feel your energy before they hear your words. You've experienced this yourself. You've met someone who said all the right things, yet something about them felt off. You've also met someone who said very little, yet their presence alone was magnetic. When you are aligned inside, you radiate a quiet kind of strength. You're not trying to prove anything. You're not grasping for approval. You simply are. And in that state, attraction becomes effortless. Men are drawn to that stillness because it's rare, it's safe, but also intriguing. But alignment doesn't happen by accident. It comes from knowing yourself deeply, from understanding your worth without needing anyone else to confirm it, from healing the parts of you that still think you must earn love by over-giving, over-explaining, or over-performing. If those wounds remain, your energy will always carry a subtle scent of neediness, and neediness repels pursuit. Now, some people think if I just fake confidence, no one will notice. But here's the thing: faking only works in short bursts. Over time, the cracks show. Real alignment is not about pretending you're okay. It's about actually being okay, even if the person you want doesn't choose you. And that kind of self-possession is rare enough to be magnetic. To reach this place, you have to fill your own life with meaning. Not the kind of meaning that depends on romance, but the kind that comes from your own growth, your own goals, your own passions. When you wake up with purpose, when you engage with life fully, you naturally stop putting all your energy into one person's response to you. And when you stop investing in one person, they can feel the shift. They realize they have to invest in you to keep your attention. This is why I say energy before strategy. You can read every dating book, memorize every tactic, but if your energy says I need you to like me so I can feel good about myself, it will undermine everything else. On the other hand, if your energy says I am whole, I am enough, and I choose to share my life with those who earn it, then even your smallest gestures will have power. Inner alignment also brings you emotional steadiness. You won't overreact to small things. You won't crumble if he takes a little longer to reply. You won't feel the urge to chase every time he pulls back slightly. Instead, you'll breathe, you'll observe, and you'll respond from a place of strength. And that steadiness is what allows you to maintain attraction over the long term, because a man cannot feel safe to pursue you if your mood swings wildly based on his every action. The beauty is when you are aligned inside, you no longer have to try to make someone chase you. Your presence alone becomes the invitation. You're not pushing or pulling, you're simply being, and that being is magnetic. So before you look outward, look inward. Align your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. Become someone who doesn't just want to be chosen, but who chooses herself every day. Because when you stand in that kind of self-ownership, anyone who wishes to be in your life will have only one choice: to step up and match it. And that is when the chase truly begins. Pursuit is not a one-way street. If you hold yourself like the mountain, if you understand your value, if you stir his emotions, keep a little mystery, and stand in full alignment, then there is one last piece to remember: pursuit must feel rewarding. Some people misunderstand this and think, if I want him to chase me, I must give him nothing until he catches me. But that's not pursuit, that's punishment. The truth is, a chase without reward eventually becomes exhausting. No matter how strong the desire, if every step toward you feels like a dead end, sooner or later, he'll stop walking. What keeps pursuit alive is a rhythm: effort from him, warmth from you. Not all warmth, not all effort, just enough that he feels his investment matters. This is what I call the gentle pull. You are not dragging him toward you, and you are not pushing him away. You are creating a steady invitation for him to keep coming closer. Think about a great conversation. It's not one person talking endlessly while the other nods. It's an exchange. He shares something, you respond in a way that deepens the connection. That's how attraction works. He reaches out, you meet him part of the way, not all the way, not none of the way. This part of the way is important. If you go all the way to meet him every time, you remove his need to move. If you don't meet him at all, you remove his motivation. The balance is where the magic lies. Here's what that might look like. He plans a date, show genuine excitement and appreciation. He opens up emotionally, listen deeply, and share a small piece of yourself in return. He does something thoughtful. Let him see that it matters to you. These are small rewards, but they are powerful because they tell him your effort is noticed. Your presence has meaning. This works on a deeper psychological level. Human beings are motivated by progress. If we feel like we're getting closer to something we want, we keep moving toward it. When he feels like each step toward you brings him closer, not just to winning you, but to understanding you, connecting with you, he will naturally keep pursuing. But here's the key. These rewards must be genuine. If you force them or use them only as a tactic, they will feel hollow. True warmth comes from a place of appreciation. And that's why all the other steps matter. Because when you value yourself, when you hold your boundaries, when you live in alignment, you naturally give your attention and affection more selectively. That selectiveness makes it valuable. Think of it like a garden again. If you tend to it just enough, watering it, giving it light, it thrives. Too much water, it drowns. Too little, it withers. A man in pursuit needs to feel your light, but not so much that he stops seeking it. And remember, gentle pull does not mean manipulation. It does not mean controlling his emotions or dangling affection like bait. It means allowing the connection to breathe while guiding it forward with small but meaningful moments of encouragement. This is how you turn initial attraction into lasting desire. The chase doesn't just happen at the beginning. It becomes an ongoing dance. And in that dance, both people move, both people give, and both people grow closer over time. When you can do this, when you can offer just enough warmth to inspire, without giving so much that it removes his effort, you create something rare, not just pursuit but devotion. Because in the end, the most magnetic kind of woman is not the one who makes a man run endlessly after her, but the one who makes him feel that every step he takes toward her is worth it. Most women think making a man chase them is about looking better, texting less, or playing hard to get. They're wrong. True pursuit doesn't start in his phone, it starts in his mind, in his instincts, in that primal place where curiosity and desire collide. The truth is, you don't make a man chase you by running after him or waiting for him. You make him chase you by becoming the one thing he can't stop thinking about. This is psychology, not games. Once you master it, you'll never have to compete for attention again. Because attention will compete for you. Remember, chase is not about tricks, it's about transformation. When you hold your center, understand your value, stir emotion, keep a little mystery, live in alignment, and offer the gentle pull, you stop running after men and they start running toward you. This isn't about winning a game. It's about becoming the kind of woman whose presence feels like both a privilege and a challenge. So don't wait for someone to choose you. Become the mountain they cannot ignore. And when you do, you'll find that the right man won't just chase you. He'll never want to stop climbing.